Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. It's absolutely shocking this morning. Messi has won the Ballon d'Or and there's talk of another Winter World Cup. We're going to get into it, but before we get into all that, we're sponsored by Manscaped on the show. As you can see, you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY. Links in the description as well, or scan the QR code. What is Manscaped? You know what Manscaped's all about these days. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger with the lawnmower, but they've also got this brand new piece of kit. It's called the Handyman, and it is very handy. Take the lid off. You're away. There you go. A lovely clean shave. Take it to work. Take it on holiday. Take it to the gym. It's absolutely fantastic, like all Manscaped products are, and you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with that code FOOTY. And remember, Christmas is coming. You might want to treat yourself. You know, some people do buy a present, wrap it up, make a name up, and pretend someone's giving it them. Bit sad. Otherwise, you can put it on your Santa's list, or you can just buy it for yourself, or buy it for somebody else. They might not want it, and you can use it. Either way, check it out. Fantastic products with Manscaped, precision engineering for your family jewels, and a whole lot more. Big shout out to Manscaped. Right, let's get into this. Not a big shout out to the Ballon d'Or. Have to say, very disappointed, but not surprised that Messi won it. On one hand, legend of the game, won the World Cup, legacy. I think he's won 8 Ballon d'Ors now. But I really just cannot agree with this, and I think football is about opinion, so you have to give your opinion. I also want to talk about this ridiculous World Cup in the winter again that's on the horizon. We'll talk about that. But just to give you a little bit of context around the Ballon d'Or, I believe that Erling Haaland should have won it. I don't like Man City, but I don't watch football with red-tinted glasses. As a Man United fan, I can appreciate and look. I mean, look, I prefer Messi to Haaland. I prefer Messi to Man City. So it's very easy to sit and say Messi should have won it. But I've seen so many United fans saying this as well. Messi shouldn't have won that. All I've heard is Messi won the World Cup. Messi won the World Cup. Every newspaper article, everybody reacting to the Ballon d'Or are basically saying he won the World Cup. And that's it. He won the World Cup. It's a very big thing to do. But, you know, club record across that season with which the Ballon d'Or is all about, not very much. Not very much. He was at PSG, a little bit at Inter Miami, but he's winning it because he won the World Cup. And for me, that's sentimentality. It's not actually about who was the best. And this has happened before. Frank Ribery, I think, should have won it in, was it 2013? He didn't even come in the top 3. I think he came 3rd, actually. So it's not the first time. And also, is the Ballon d'Or just a little bit outdated now? Has it just become a little bit of a, you know, almost like the Oscars, which we know can be manipulative as well, in the sense that the best doesn't always win. And I think in football, is there a better way of doing this? Because the Ballon d'Or actually is meant to recognise the best football of the year and is voted for by 100 journalists from around the world. Well, I'm sorry, traditions or not, 100 journalists from around the world. Oh, the media. And what 100 journalists are they? I just think journalists, fantastic, well done. But, I mean, are they really the voice of football now? Are they really the knowledge of football? I think 30 years ago, when you didn't have the media, you didn't have the social media, journalists had great sway and they could put the player ratings and thousands and millions read it and, you know, hung on their every word. What we see in the modern day is that these journalists went to college, they got a blue tick. It doesn't mean that they know the game any better than football fans. And 100 journalists voting the best player in the world, it's just not the way of doing it. Logically, Erling Haaland should have won it. Lionel Messi has 8 Ballon d'Ors, and you know how many of them were justified? Probably 7 of them. I don't think this one's justified. I think it's a sentimentality contest. I think it's because he won a World Cup, and I think Erling Haaland should have won it. And the reason Erling Haaland should have won it is because over that year, where it was being determined who should win it, he's come into the Premier League, his first season in the Premier League, the best league in the world. He's smashed the goal record, which I still think people go, oh, he plays up front for Man City, that's why. Oh, yeah, because every striker of Man City has smashed the goal record, haven't they? And especially in his first season, Man City had never won a treble before. They'd never won a Champions League before. And I just think to come into that Man City side and do what he did and score the goals he did, it's incredible. And people say things, well, no, Ballon d'Or's not really for goal scorers. You know, you've got golden boots for things like that. You know, you don't need the Ballon d'Or for that. And I'm like, come on. What wins games? Goals. Will there be a striker that comes into the Premier League and does what Erling Haaland does in the next decade? Very unlikely. Will it happen in the next 30 years? I hope so, but it might not. And we're not, rewarding that amazing feat with a Ballon d'Or because Messi won the World Cup. And let's not forget, Messi's won the Ballon d'Or 7 times before. I just think it's unfair. And I'm a massive Messi fan, but I just think it's wrong. And all I would say, kids, is and adults and grandparents, is that welcome to the world. It's not fair, and people win things that they don't necessarily deserve. It's a harsh lesson in life, but I would have given it to Haaland. Get your comments in below, but just give us a reason below. I get the sentimentality, I get the fact that he won the World Cup, but come on, across a season, what Erling Haaland did for Man City in his first season is just, I don't think it will be repeated. In fact, I think it's underrated. Second thing I want to moan about, Winter World Cup. Saudi Arabia either have or are going to get awarded the 2034 World Cup. I believe, well, the next one's in America in 2026. 2030, I don't know. But 2034, looking like Saudi Arabia. They're building towards this, of course, the Ronaldo, all the signings. They're really trying to build football out, and I think that they will do that. And it will obviously be, 10 years' time when they get that World Cup and they build towards that. Well done for having the World Cup. I've got no problem with that. I just cannot stand the prospect of another Winter World Cup. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, and we did a lot of watch-alongs on this channel for it, and I was consistent. I don't like it. I don't like it. It made Christmas feel weird. It made the World Cup feel weird. It made the domestic season feel weird. It's just weird. I don't like the Winter World Cup, and having one every 10 years, all right, it's a novelty, but I had the novelty of Qatar and I didn't like it. So I don't look forward to another one and go, oh, that was quite nice. It'll be nice to have that one again. I know why they do it. It's because of the heat, etc. But is it because of the heat? I mean, the grounds, the money they're going to spend on it, they can have the aircon on. I don't think the heat was a major issue in Qatar anyway, and I think they could have it in the summer. But look, you've got to be fair, you've got to share it out, and FIFA love money. So Saudi Arabia will get the World Cup, but I just think a Winter World Cup, I mean, look, top line, didn't like a Winter World Cup. I really didn't. Second line, it has a devastating impact on the players. Like, it really does. It's an incredible ask to get those players to do that, and I think player welfare has to be on the front foot a lot more than it currently is, because it just seems to me like play. I mean, apparently there's some Club World Cup coming up in 2025, which basically fills the gap between the Euros and the World Cup in the summer. It's an incredible amount of football that they're trying to get them to play. But no, I don't know. Get in the comments again. Some of you, I think, will like the idea of a Winter World Cup. I didn't like it, and I'll always give you a reason. One, I like the Champions League. I like the Premier League around Christmas, and to not have those games until after just felt odd. I like early December where you've got a lot of games going on, and obviously that was the latter stages of the World Cup, so we actually hardly had any football the first half of December because you just had semi-finals and final. And yeah, and I didn't like the breakup of the season really. It just felt very disjointed. And I felt it ruined Christmas a little bit as well, if I'm being completely honest. But get your comments in below. Did Messi deserve the Ballon d'Or? And what do you think about a Winter World Cup? I'll speak to you on the next one. Don't forget Manscaped, 20% off with the code FOOTY. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. They are fantastic products. Make sure you get them out. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you very much for watching.